During World War II, the Nazis had a terrifying secret police force, the Gestapo, that hunted down spies with ruthless precision. And yet, there was one woman they simply couldn't catch. A woman who infiltrated Nazi-occupied France, ran underground resistance networks, and escaped death more times than James Bond. Her name, Virginia Hall. She was so dangerous that the Gestapo called her the most dangerous spy of all. And the craziest part? She did it all with one leg. That's right. This woman outwitted the Nazis while using a wooden prosthetic leg she called Cuthbert. Buckle up, because this is the insane true story of the one-legged spy who terrorized the Third Reich. Virginia Hall wasn't born a spy. In fact, she wanted to be a war diplomat. But back in the 1930s, the U.S. State Department had a rule: no women allowed in high-ranking positions. Then, in a tragic accident, Virginia lost her left leg in a hunting mishap and had to wear a prosthetic for the rest of her life. You'd think that would end her dreams of adventure, right? Nope. Instead, she became one of the most legendary spies in history. When World War II started, Virginia Hall wasn't about to sit on the sidelines. She volunteered for an ambulance service in France, and soon, British intelligence noticed her. Before long, she was recruited into the Special Operations Executive, SOE, Winston Churchill's top-secret spy organization. Their job? Sabotage, espionage, and making life hell for the Nazis. And Virginia, she was one of the best they ever had. Virginia was sent to Nazi-occupied France, disguised as an American journalist. But in reality, she was organizing resistance networks, sabotaging German operations, and smuggling out critical intelligence. She trained French resistance fighters, set up safe houses, and even coordinated airdrops of weapons for Allied troops. And somehow, she did all of this while hiding her prosthetic leg from suspicion. If the Nazis knew she had a wooden leg, she would have been immediately exposed. The Gestapo quickly realized someone was causing massive problems they didn't know her name yet, but they knew her work. So they started hunting her down, and they called her the most dangerous Allied spy in France. As Virginia's missions grew bolder, the Gestapo got closer. By 1942, they were onto her. With Nazi agents closing in, she had no choice but to flee. But here's the thing: she couldn't just hop on a train or drive away. France was on lockdown, so how did she escape? She literally hiked through the frigid Pyrenees mountains into Spain on one leg. Yeah, just take a second to process that. This woman trekked 50 miles over ice-cold mountains with Nazi patrols everywhere, all while dragging a wooden prosthetic leg through the falling snow, and somehow she made it. Even when she reached Spain, she was thrown into prison for illegal entry. But instead of giving up, she got a message out to the U.S. Embassy, who helped secure her release. And you'd think, after escaping the Nazis and nearly freezing to death, she'd retire from the spy game, right? Nope. Virginia immediately rejoined the war effort and went straight back to France, this time working for the American OSS, which later became and when she returned, she had a new disguise: an old lady. Back in France, Virginia used fake identities, disguises, and insane trickery to keep fooling the Nazis. She helped organize resistance sabotage missions, blew up bridges, cut off Nazi supply lines, and trained fighters who would later help liberate France. And even after the Allies won, Virginia kept working in intelligence. She became one of the first women in the CIA, continuing to serve her country for years. For her bravery, Virginia Hall was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross, the second highest U.S. military honor, the only civilian woman to receive it during World War II. But because she was a spy, much of her work remained top secret for decades. It wasn't until later that the world learned just how much of a legend she really was. Virginia Hall wasn't just a great spy, she was a pioneer. She shattered barriers, proved disabilities don't define your abilities, and showed that bravery isn't about physical strength, it's about courage. The Nazis feared her, the Allies relied on her, and today she's finally getting the recognition she deserves. Famous quote: "Never take no for an answer, and never stop fighting." What do you think? Could you have pulled off what Virginia did? Let me know in the comments. And if you love stories about real-life spies, unsung heroes, and crazy moments in history, smash that like button and subscribe to Intriguing Info. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and maybe don't underestimate the one-legged woman in the room.